Have you ever felt invisible? Not because people cannot see you, but because they choose not to. You walk past them every day. They look away. You speak, but no one listens. If you have ever felt small, forgotten, or left behind by life, then this story is for you. Because sometimes the person the world ignores today becomes the one the world listens to tomorrow. Once upon a time, in a busy town filled with noise, markets, and endless movement, there lived a beggar named Rafi. Rafi sat on the same dusty roadside every day. His clothes were torn. His sandals were worn out. His face carried the marks of hardship. People passed by him without stopping. Some dropped coins into his bowl without looking at him. Others ignored him completely. Children laughed at him. Merchants waved him away. To everyone else, Rafi was just a beggar. But Rafi was not always like this. Many years ago, he had been a bright young boy who loved learning. He dreamed of becoming a teacher. He loved books. He loved asking questions. He loved understanding how the world worked. But life had other plans. When his parents passed away suddenly, Rafi was left alone. No money, no support, no opportunity. He was forced onto the streets where survival became more important than dreams. Slowly, the dream of becoming a teacher faded, and in its place came silence. Years passed. Every day, Rafi sat on the roadside with his bowl. But something unusual about him remained. Instead of complaining, instead of cursing his fate, Rafi observed. He listened carefully to conversations around him. He watched how people spoke, worked, argued, and learned. Sometimes he would quietly repeat words he heard. Sometimes he would trace letters in the dust with his finger. Deep inside him, the love for learning never died. One afternoon, something unexpected happened. A young boy stopped in front of Rafi. The boy looked confused and frustrated. In his hand was a torn notebook. He stared at the pages, then at Rafi. "Can you read this?" the boy asked. Rafi hesitated. It had been years since anyone had asked him anything, especially something like this. Slowly, he took the notebook. His eyes scanned the page. And then he began to read. His voice was soft but clear. The boy's eyes widened. "You can read?" he asked in surprise. Rafi nodded. "Then, can you help me understand this?" That day, something changed. For the first time in years, Rafi was not seen as a beggar. He was seen as someone who knew something, someone who could help. The next day, the boy returned. Then another child came. Then another. Soon, a small group of children began gathering around Rafi every afternoon. They brought their books. They brought their questions. They brought their curiosity. And Rafi began to teach. At first, it was simple. Reading, writing, basic numbers. But as days turned into weeks, something incredible happened. Rafi came alive. His eyes no longer looked empty. His voice grew stronger. His confidence returned. He was no longer just sitting on the roadside. He was building something. People began to notice. At first, they were confused. "Why are these children sitting around a beggar?" they asked. But then they listened. They heard Rafi explaining lessons with patience and clarity. They saw children improving. They saw something they had never expected. Respect slowly replaced ignorance. Curiosity replaced judgment. One day, a school teacher passing by stopped to watch. She stood quietly listening to Rafi teach. When he finished, she walked up to him. "Where did you learn all this?" she asked. Rafi lowered his head. "I learned long ago and never forgot," he said. The teacher looked at the children, then back at Rafi. "You are not meant to sit here," she said firmly. "You are meant to stand in a classroom." Those words struck Rafi deeply. For years, he had accepted his life. For years, he believed his dream was gone forever. But now, someone else believed in him, and that changed everything. With the teacher's help, Rafi was given a small opportunity, a chance to assist at a local school. It was not much. No big salary, no grand title, but it was a beginning. Rafi took it with gratitude. The first day he stood in front of a classroom, his hands trembled. The students looked at him curiously. Some whispered, some laughed quietly. After all, he was once a beggar. But Rafi remembered something important. He remembered the roadside. He remembered the children who believed in him. He remembered the dream he never truly lost. So he began to teach. Day after day, Rafi worked harder than anyone else. He prepared lessons late into the night. He treated every student with patience and kindness. He never forgot what it felt like to be ignored. So he made sure no child in his class ever felt that way. Slowly, everything changed. Students who struggled began to improve. Students who were shy began to speak. Students who felt lost began to believe in themselves. Rafi was not just teaching subjects. He was teaching confidence. He was teaching hope. Years passed. The beggar who once sat on the roadside became one of the most respected teachers in the town. People who once ignored him now greeted him with respect. Children looked up to him. Parents trusted him. But Rafi never forgot where he came from. Every weekend he returned to that same roadside, not to beg, but to teach. He gathered children who could not afford school. He shared knowledge freely because he knew something powerful. Education had changed his life, and it could change theirs too. Dear listener, Rafi's story is not just about poverty or success. It is about something deeper. It is about identity. The world may label you. It may limit you. It may ignore you. But your true value is not decided by your situation. It is decided by what you choose to do with what you still have. Rafi lost everything, but he did not lose his mind. He did not lose his curiosity. He did not lose his willingness to learn. And that made all the difference. So if you feel invisible today, if life has pushed you down, if people have stopped believing in you, remember this: your current position is not your final destination. The skills you have, the knowledge you carry, the passion inside you can still change your story. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for someone to rescue you. Start where you are, use what you have, and build step by step. Because one day, the same world that ignored you will sit down and listen to you teach.